Now we're going to think about how we would communicate those expectations to students. And I like to do it through quality criteria. These are not to be confused with success criteria. I would never use the word success because that means that you can either be successful or a failure. But these rather are guideposts to help students on their journey of learning. So the must-haves are things, places that you for sure want them to stop. So these are things that for sure a high quality response would absolutely have. So we want that to be explicit and visible to all students so that some students don't have information about a high quality response while other students are unclear and they might not know how to achieve a high quality response because it hasn't been made visible to them. So what would those must-haves be? You can think about vocabulary, you can think about the length of a discussion response, the use of background knowledge, the things that you're listening for. How would you communicate those in a must-haves? And I always make the must-haves something that students can annotate or circle in their work. Put a check next to this, circle this, underline. So it's an expectation that students would draw or write the response or put together, pull some things. Little guys might have an object that they're going to talk about. So there's some sort of preparation and they could point to the things in that preparation to prepare for the discussion. So those must-haves would be things kids can circle in their work. And then the amazings, the last must-have is always that every student should do something amazing. And the amazings should go beyond. And this is going to ensure that all students achieve optimal challenge, right? There's something that stretches you. You can never finish any task because there's always more to do. It continues that learning cycle. You might be asking students to make a connection to something they did last week or ask a question or what's something they remember studying about this before. So an amazing is going to really push student thinking, and everyone has to have something amazing in their work. I usually also identify what help resources I'm going to have on hand and direct students to use those to achieve those must-haves and to achieve the amazings so that more students will be able to access all quality criteria. So what kind of help resources? Maybe you have a concept map, maybe you have fact cards. So think about what you're going to have available and go ahead and jot that down so you remember to have that when you start your routine. So take a moment. So now that in the first part, we thought about our own expectations and what we'd be listening for. And now we're going to be much more concrete and think about how we'd share this with students. If you're working with young children, you're probably going to have, this is going to be all images, right? If you're working with students who are developing as readers. And even I would encourage you in middle and high school to think about, could you have an image? Could you have this annotated, something that draws students' eyes to the quality criteria as a guidepost during the discussion. This will save you from running around to each group repeating yourself with what the quality of the conversation should be. So go ahead and make this and really make this thinking about how this might look as a poster or a slide in an online class, but how would you share with students your expectations for a high quality discussion?